We remember the civil rights demonstrations in the 1960s and the brave people who marched for freedom. But they weren't the only ones fighting for justice. Photographers who chronicled this struggle shared the black and white reality of racial inequality. Jeffrey Allen is here to preview a unique exhibition that focuses on their efforts and how they still challenge us today. Jeffrey is Director of Education and Public Programs for the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, it's a pleasure to be here.
So we have this new exhibit called This Light of Ours, Activist Photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. So tell us about it.
Well, this is an amazing exhibition that will tell you the story of civil rights through video, through interactives, and through over 150 stunning black and white photographs. These images were taken by 9 photographers who were not members of the press and the media elite, but rather were 9 activist photographers who were part of the movement. So many of these images are gritty, raw, and real. The exhibition takes its name from the famous song, This Little Light of Mine.
I remember singing that.
The issues that come forth are relevant today. The original exhibition was created by the Center for Documentary Expression in Art, but the films, the interactives, and the overall new design were conceived and created by the Maltz Museum. Now, although this is featuring information from 50 years ago, its relevance is still palpable today. Pick up any newspaper from our own community here in Cleveland, or Dallas, or Baltimore, and we'll see the relevance and importance of the civil rights movement even through to today.
Absolutely. You mentioned recent events with regard to Cleveland, but there's also a Cleveland connection in one of the pictures from the past.
Yes, and the image I think that will be coming up first is that of Rabbi Arthur Lelyveld from Fairmount Temple. And in this image, you can see he was brutally beaten with a tire iron, and this was just a month after 3 civil rights activists were murdered for simply trying to enfranchise the rights of African Americans to vote. So the danger of even taking this stand was extraordinarily high.
Yeah, looks that way. The photographs are amazing. I mean, so far we've showed a few, so let's talk about a few more.
Well, sure. Here's the image that's up right now. This is in front of a Mississippi Delta Freedom House, and the KKK had burnt a cross in front of it, and one of the civil rights workers repurposed it as a message of hope by painting the word freedom across the front. Now, although this isn't in front of that wasn't in front of a church, churches were the center of life in the African American community and were in fact the base for many of these civil rights activists to come forward. Here's an image that's terrific. This is a young man, Bobby Simmons. He's not even old enough to vote, and yet he's marching to Montgomery, and his message can't be any more abundantly clear. And that's in sunscreen, I might add.
Sunscreen, oh my,
And
okay.
these images, this wasn't relegated just to the South. We have things that are happening right here in Cleveland, Ohio, and we've added content specific to Northeast Ohio, including the 1963-64 effort to desegregate Cleveland schools, one of the events that led up to the historic election of Carl Stokes as the first African-American mayor of a major American city.
Wow, I wish we had more time to see pictures and everything, but people have got to go.
Absolutely.
Well, we've made great strides. As Jeffrey noted, there is still work to be done in this challenging area of racial inequality. This exhibit shares the courageous efforts of those who went before us and challenges us to do our part today. My thanks to Jeffrey for shining a light on this exhibit for us today.
Find out more by calling the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage at 216-593-2204 or log on to www.maltzmuseum.org. Next.